I mean, you're constantly, it seems like, on the move. Do you worry about that for your kids, of kind of having this nomadic life?
I will listen, as my mother would have, to them, and if they start to complain about it or something, right now, they love it. Right now, if they're in one place for 2 months, they want to know why we're not getting on an airplane.
Angelina Jolie is one of Hollywood's most accomplished actresses and humanitarian. But behind her glittering career lies a painful and complicated family story that has unfolded over decades.
No, I think honestly, I never wanted it to be a focus in my house.
Right.
So for me, I have a lot of I think I have one and a broken little statue that my kids made when I didn't win something once.
Oh.
From a deeply fractured relationship with her father to an 8-year legal battle with her ex-husband Brad Pitt, Jolie's personal life has been marked by heartbreak, conflict, and the constant struggle to protect her children from the chaos surrounding them.
They weren't born with privacy, right? So I hope they can have that as they grow. And none of my children want to be in front of the camera at this time. So they're quite private. Shiloh's extremely private.
When it's with me or not with me, they do their own thing.
This is the dark reality of one of cinema's biggest stars. A childhood shaped by abandonment. The roots of Angelina Jolie's family drama trace back to her childhood when her father, Oscar-winning actor Jon Voight, left her mother, Marceline Bertrand, when Angelina was just 6 months old. Her mother raised Angelina and her brother James Haven in New York with minimal support from their father, who was building his own career in Hollywood. Jolie has spoken openly about how this early abandonment shaped her worldview and her approach to family. Her brother, James Haven, alleged that their father put their mother through years of emotional abuse and that Voight had been unfaithful during their marriage. This childhood trauma would echo throughout Jolie's entire life, influencing how she handled relationships and parenting. Jolie was deeply devoted to her mother, describing her as the strongest person she knew. When Jolie recalled her mother's sacrifices, she noted that Marceline gave up her own acting dreams to raise her children alone. In interviews, Jolie credited her mother with teaching her what unconditional love meant and how to be a true friend to her children rather than just an authority figure.
It's an amazing thing to know a woman from a child and watch her really become the woman she's going to be and start thinking about expressing herself in different ways and finding her voice and the type of woman she is and the type of desires she has and thoughts. And it's very exciting.
This connection became even more precious when Marceline passed away from ovarian cancer in 2007 at just 56 years old, leaving a wound that Jolie has carried ever since. The fractured relationship with her father took a dramatic turn in 2002 when Jolie was at the height of her career.
What do you think, Dad?
Ginger Rogers.
Well, I'm Ginger Rogers. I'm doing just fine. Thanks a lot, Lisa. I'm happy to be with my family, and I'm happy to be nominated.
After appearing alongside Voight and Lara Croft Tomb Raider the previous year, the father and daughter seemed to be on better terms. However, tensions erupted when Voight publicly claimed on Access Hollywood that his daughter had serious mental problems and needed help. This public betrayal devastated Jolie. She responded by legally dropping her father's surname that September, choosing to be known simply as Angelina Jolie. The pair did not speak for more than 6 years. Jolie later explained that being around her father felt unhealthy and that she needed to protect herself emotionally. For years, she carried significant anger toward him for abandoning her mother and breaking her heart. From glamour to courtroom warfare, while Jolie was healing from family wounds, she met Brad Pitt on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 2005. The two became one of Hollywood's most iconic couples, known as Brangelina, and their relationship seemed to epitomize fairy tale romance. They adopted their first son Maddox from Cambodia in 2002 and went on to have 5 more children together before marrying in 2014 in a private ceremony at Chateau Miraval, their French winery. The couple projected an image of a beautiful, blended family with their 6 children Maddox, Pax, Zahara, Shelenox, and Vivienne. Behind closed doors, however, something was deeply wrong. In September 2016, an incident on a private plane became the breaking point. Jolie has alleged that Pitt verbally abused their children and physically assaulted her during the flight. An FBI investigation found credibility in her claims, though Pitt was never charged with any crimes. Days after the plane incident, Jolie filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. She requested sole physical custody of their then minor children, with Pitt being granted supervised visitation. What followed was one of the most prolonged and acrimonious divorces in Hollywood history. For over 8 years, the former couple battled in court not just over custody of their children, but also over their shared property, including the Che 2 Miraval winery that held deep emotional significance for both of them. The custody battle became increasingly complex and contentious. A judge initially awarded Pitt temporary joint custody in 2021, but Jolie successfully challenged the ruling by having the judge disqualified due to undisclosed conflicts of interest with Pitt's legal team. The judge's decision was overturned, and Jolie retained primary custody. Throughout this legal warfare, the emotional toll on Jolie was catastrophic. She told Hollywood Reporter that she remained in Los Angeles only because of the custody arrangement, describing the city as lacking humanity. She expressed that she desperately wanted to leave, but felt trapped by the legal conditions binding her to live near her ex-husband. The constant litigation also forced her to make difficult career choices. The director, who had won multiple accolades, had to step back from filmmaking and return to acting in shorter roles so she could be present for her children. She took on projects like Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
So, I know that you said Maleficent was a favorite character of yours since childhood. I wonder if you can tell me what it was like for you to bring her to life, and if it was sad for you to say goodbye to her when it was all over.
It was a little terrifying for me to bring her to life because I was such a fan of hers, and it was daunting. It's her. So, I was so excited to get offered the job. But then the idea of that voice and that presence, she's so...
And was nominated for a Golden Globe for her role in the biographical film Maria, but she has acknowledged that her creative ambitions were sacrificed on the altar of family survival. A family divided. Perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of this saga is the toll it took on Jolie's children. As the years of legal fighting dragged on, the distance between the children and their father became increasingly apparent. In 2024, Shiloh, who had just turned 18, filed a petition to legally remove Pitt's name from her surname, becoming known as Shiloh Jolie. Her decision to remove her father's name was a public declaration of her choice to side with her mother. She hired her own lawyer and paid for the legal proceedings herself, demonstrating that this was her own independent decision. Following Shiloh's lead, Vivienne, one of the twins, was credited as Vivienne Jolie in the Broadway production of the musical The Outsiders, which her mother helped produce. Zahara, her older sister, also adopted the Jolie surname when she attended college at Spelman. These symbolic rejections of their father's name represented the deep rift that had formed within the family. For Pitt, sources close to him indicated that the situation was devastatingly painful. The actor, who had once been seen as a devoted father, found himself increasingly isolated from his children. The custody arrangement meant that his relationship with his younger twins, Knox and Vivienne, remained particularly limited. Father issues returned just when Jolie seemed to be moving forward with her life. Her relationship with her own father resurfaced as a source of pain. After years of estrangement, Jolie and Voight had slowly begun rebuilding their relationship through their grandchildren and shared family moments. However, in 2023, Voight publicly criticized his daughter's political views, claiming she had been exposed to propaganda regarding the Israel-Hamas conflict. He suggested in interviews that she had been brainwashed by her work with the United Nations. These comments deeply wounded Jolie, who felt that her father was once again betraying her by speaking publicly about her private life and parenting decisions. Sources close to Jolie revealed that she found his comments especially offensive because he was positioning himself as having some kind of inside knowledge about her custody situation with Pitt. She felt he was minimizing the trauma she had endured and implying that she was somehow responsible for the breakdown of her family. Despite Voight's statements that he loves his daughter and grandchildren, and his public acknowledgement of her talent and strength, the scars from decades of conflict were difficult to overcome. Their relationship remained fragile and complicated, marked by moments of warmth interrupted by periods of distance and disappointment. Settlement and moving forward. In December 2024, after more than 8 years of legal wrangling, Jolie and Pitt finally reached a divorce settlement. The terms remained confidential, and financial details were not disclosed. Jolie's attorney released a statement indicating that while this settlement was a significant milestone, the legal process had left her exhausted. She had lost years of her directing career, sacrificed creative projects, and endured the constant stress of defending her family in court. Angelina Jolie's story is not a typical Hollywood fairy tale of glamour and success. It is a narrative of profound personal struggle, of a woman fighting to protect her children from inherited trauma and ongoing family conflict. Despite her awards, her humanitarian work, and her accomplishments in cinema, her greatest challenge has been navigating the complexities of family loyalty, forgiveness, and the lasting impact of childhood abandonment. Her journey reminds us that no amount of fame or wealth can shield anyone from the pain of family dysfunction, and that sometimes the most courageous battles are fought not in the spotlight, but in the courtrooms and hearts of those we love most.